Evening one more time on a Thursday with the show of the attorneys in the law firm of Margaret W. Wong and Associates. Well, today we're going to have the attorney Kwesi Bediako, who is going to be hosting. Well, I'll be hosting the show, but he will be answering the questions that you may have regarding to immigration. So feel free to send your questions right now live, and the answer is going to be absolutely free. Let's welcome the attorney Kwesi Bediako. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Juan. I am doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having us today. And just would like to start by asking about what you see. How is the removal proceedings, cancellation of removals, and so many other things that are happening with many people that have entered recently to the United States of America and maybe have committed crimes, maybe have been doing bad stuff. What's going to happen with them, especially with people that are in New York that are committing a lot of crimes?
Thank you, Juan, for that question. Uh, as as I always advise immigrants coming to the U.S., one thing you want to avoid is crimes. It doesn't matter how petty it is. You want to make sure you're not engaging in anything uh, that is considered a crime in the United States. One, you might think, walking to a grocery store or walking to, let's say, Burlington Coat Factory and picking up an item that's $2. It's not that big of a deal. It's only $2, right? Then you would be wrong because it becomes a theft and it would be considered a CIMT, which is what we call a crime involving moral turpitude. Okay, uh, so it doesn't matter how small you think the crime is, it might be something that negatively and gravely affects your immigration proceedings. CIMTs generally, if you do get a CIMT, it makes qualification for certain immigration benefits very difficult. If you're unlucky, and then it's a more serious crime, let's say like a felony or an aggravated assault, something more serious, then you probably will be barred from obtaining a lot of different immigration benefits. So, as always, if you're an immigrant in the U.S., make sure you avoid any crime. Make sure you try to stay out of trouble. It doesn't matter how small the crime or the event or whatever you're engaging in appears to be. Just try to avoid any issues with the law. In terms of cancellation, in terms of immigration proceedings, as we see more people coming in into the U.S., uh, the courts are going to get overburdened. Probably going to try to speed up more proceedings. So you need to make sure uh, you stay out of trouble. So then when you go, there's no reason for the courts to say, there's so many people coming in, and this person has a criminal record, so we're not even really going to consider them as a fit to be in the U.S. and that way they send you out. Just make sure you stay out of trouble. Any kind of crime, avoid it.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Kwesi. And so we're starting to get some questions, and this next question comes from a person who says that was in the United States in 2018, committed shoplifting, got arrested, went back to his or her country, and came back through the border. Now, this person applied for the Venezuelan TPS, but it looks like the case showed up. What can I do in this case?
That's a really good question. Every time you commit a crime, it is going to show up when you apply for any kind of immigration benefit. Generally, they will schedule you when you apply for a benefit. Let's say, for instance, this person applied for a TPS. They will schedule you for what we call a biometrics appointment, which is a fingerprint appointment. You will go in, they will run your fingerprints, they will do a background check, and any crime that you have committed, it will show up. In this case, usually what they do, one or two things. They'll issue an RFE, which is what we call a request for evidence. Once they issue this, they'll give you a chance to submit criminal records, basically the police arrest reports, the conviction documents, any complaints, any charging documents. You'll give you a chance to submit these, usually maybe a certified copy of it. Okay. If they haven't already issued you the RFE, you should expect it because it's gonna come. Okay, just make sure you get copies of it, certified copies of it. So contact the police department that arrested you, contact the court that handled your case. Hopefully, it hasn't been expunged. Hopefully, they still have records of it. And then once you have those, you will have to submit it to the USCIS. They will review the records, and if it's not records that disqualify you, TPS, there's certain crimes that disqualify people from getting TPS. If it doesn't fall within that category of crimes or a number of crimes that you've been convicted of to disqualify you, you will be fine. You will get your TPS. We are here. We help a lot of clients. You should call our office. This is probably something that you want to work with a lawyer on because there might be some arguments that need to be made. The criminal records would have to be reviewed. So this is one of those things. Don't wait. Don't wait until your TPS gets denied. Contact our office.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Kwesi. And don't forget, the phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984 is the phone number that you need to call in order to talk to the attorneys in the law firm of Margaret W. Wong and Associates. The next question we have is, hi, my wife filed for me. I had to send divorce documents for prior marriage. I didn't file the I-485. Can I send it right after I send the requested evidence? Thank you.
So if I understand the question, he had to send divorce document. He didn't file 485. So did they ask for the divorce documents in the RFE? You could probably send it with the RFE because you have to send it in anyways. Ideally, you can include it in the RFE. It will be in your file. If they need it, it will be there for them. But I would say do not just send a random document in. Send it with the RFE or wait for them to ask for it and then submit it.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question that we are having right now is, I have a removal order. It was a final order, and I actually was removed to my country, but I came back. I have a daughter with Down syndrome, and she is born in the United States. Is there something I can do to fight against that final deportation?
It depends. This sounds like a complicated question where we have to actually review your file. Okay, we need to see your file, see how you first came into the U.S. and then what happened when you got deported and coming back. What kind of inadmissibility issues that have been triggered since you did come back. You might be able to qualify for certain benefits, but we would have to look at your file. Okay, see how long you've been since the last time you came to the U.S. And then see what benefits you will qualify for.
Okay, thank you so much, attorney. Don't forget, today the attorney Margaret W. Wong is in the office of Chicago, Illinois, and she's taking care of many people that are going there to the office to talk to her person to person. So today we have the attorney Kwasi. Last week we had the attorney Noor Chamas. Also, we had attorney Francis Funsang, and all of them are awesome attorneys that have a lot of experience working with the law firm, having worked for several years by themselves, and also have been attorneys that were formed in the law firm as paralegals or legal assistants until they became an attorney, just like the attorney Kwasi that we're talking to today. He became an attorney working for the law firm, so he has a lot of experience working right there. So if you need to ask any question, please feel free to send it because the attorney Kwasi will answer your question live and free today. This next person says, I have a removal order because I didn't show up at the court. But I want to file for the Venezuelan TPS. Will I be in trouble when I file this TPS, having the removal order? And how can I stop that deportation if I get my TPS granted?
Thank you, Juan, for that question. So, can you file for the TPS? I would say yes, you can. You can apply for TPS, see if you will get it. For deportation, you would have to contact a lawyer. Contact our office. You would have to file a motion to reopen. Okay, you would have to explain to the court why you did not show up. What happened? Did you have a family emergency? Were you sick? Were you somewhere that you couldn't make it to the court on time? You would have to file a motion to reopen. You would need a lawyer to do that because legal arguments would have to be made. And once you file a motion to reopen, the court will consider it. If your reason for not showing up is good enough, if it's something that the court deems acceptable, the court will reopen your case. If you do get a TPS and you get your case reopened, they'll place it on what we call a status docket, which means the court will put your case on hold, allow you to be here without having to, worry about being deported or anything, at least for as long as you have that TPS. So, one, you can apply for the TPS. Two, you would need to contact a lawyer so they can help you try to reopen your case and then hopefully put that deportation proceedings on hold. This is something in our office we do tons and tons of these. Okay, we have a lot of experienced attorneys here, experienced litigation attorneys. Contact us, we'll be able to help you on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Kwasi. Don't forget the phone number 216-279-3984. 7 offices across the country: Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is just one: 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. The next question says, "Hi, attorney. I have a quick question. My husband was removed to Mexico. I am an U.S. citizen. I moved to Mexico with him when he was deported, but horrible things happened to my kid. I came back, but I need my husband here because he is our provider. Um, his I-130 was approved, and he had the interview for the uh, visa interview, and it got approved. But now they said that he needs to file for a waiver because he was deported. So, how long would it take, and how is this process?"
Thank you once again. That's a really good question. One, it takes a couple years to get those waivers done. Sometimes it could take up to a year. If you're lucky, it might take up to 6 months, but usually you should estimate anywhere from 1 to 3 years. Uh, the waiver procedure. So if he was removed, he would need an I-212 waiver, and then assuming he would need a 601 for any other inadmissibility issues that might exist in his file. This is something that we do a lot in our office. Do contact us. He definitely needs a waiver because once you are removed from the U.S., you need their permission to reapply to get a visa to come back. So we can help him get those waivers in place. An I-212, a 601 waiver. He would need to contact us. We would have to review his file, see his full immigration history, but we will be able to help him.
Thank you so much, Attorney Kwasi. And we have a lot of people that maybe have this concern of when a kid has been abused in a foreign country because his dad was removed. Is there something else that they can do in order to speed up the case, or there's nothing they can do?
So generally, you generally can't just use the abuse as a reason to speed up a case. But if you could make arguments, you could try to reach out and say, you know, my family's lives are in danger. Can you speed up so we can get out of wherever we are, which is a danger zone? It all boils down to a discretion thing. Will the service think it's proper to speed up the case because of this reason? It would be up to the service, but there's always no harm in trying. It's not guaranteed that you'll speed up the case because your kids went back with you and they are living there and they're in danger. But there's always that possibility that you can try.
Okay. Thank you so much, Attorney Kwasi. Don't forget the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Um, Next question is, hi, I am living in the United States. I am originally from Nigeria. Have been here for 25 years. My children are born here. They are 21 and 24. Will they be able to file for me? I entered on a special visa because I was a Marine, and now I'm here. I'm already old and would like to see if I can get a relief.
So this is also a good question. Would they be able to file for you? Yes, they should be able to file probably an I-130 for you. However, we will need to get your file. We'll need to look at your history, see how you came in. You said you came in on a special visa, but you don't specifically state the kind of visa that you used. We would have to look at your file and see if there are any issues with it. But yes, they will be able to file for you. As long as they are over 21, they will be able to file for you.
Will this person need a waiver or something like that, or this person can just
Since the kids are U.S. citizens, that would be an immediate relative filing. So generally, unless maybe they have some kind of fraud issue or something that would trigger the need for a waiver, they should be okay. They have a legal entry. The kids should be able to file for them as long as there's no criminal records that will make them, inadmissible. I think they should be fine.
okay, perfect. Thank you so much. We have another interesting question right now, and this question says, I have been living in the United States for over 10 years, actually 11. I have two kids born in the US. I entered on a B2 visa, and the situation in my country has become worse with this new president. I am from Colombia. My question is if I could file for asylum at this point, since I am really scared of going back to Colombia due to this situation, and how good or how bad could it be to file an asylum now?
Thank you, Juan. So generally, when you apply for an asylum, you have to apply for it within 1 year of coming to the U.S. Okay, generally, there's that 1 year rule. There's a little exception. There's an exception that says where there are change in circumstance, change in country conditions. Okay, so let's say you came here. These are 10, 11 years ago. When you came, Colombia was safe. It was calm. You had no fear going back. And then over the last couple months, things have gone downhill. Political turmoil. There's increased political persecutions, and you think if you go back, you would not be safe. That's an argument that you can make. Okay, that there's a changing country conditions, and this changing country conditions has triggered your fear of persecution if you should go back, and that is why after 10 or 11 years of being in the U.S., now you are afraid to go back. You would have to substantiate this changing country conditions. You would have to make arguments showing that the changes are things that have genuinely made you afraid to go back, and that if you go back because of the current country conditions, you will face some kind of persecution. But yes, that's usually one of the exemptions to having a file within the 1 year, the changing country conditions.
Okay, very interesting. This question, and how long are the interviews taking now for new cases?
Um, Unfortunately, new cases are taking a while. It could be anywhere. We've had some take up to 8 years to get an interview for asylum, some 6, 7. So averagely, you should expect to get an interview within 6 to 8 years. 6 to 8
Okay,
years.
for example, if I file this year, 2024, it would take like 8 more years.
About 8 more years. It might even get longer, given how now we have a record 7.2 million people coming through the border. Most of them are going to be seeking asylum. We should expect these wait times to actually get worse. So unless we have a new president and something changes with the way the immigration processes the cases, for now we should estimate 6 to 10 years to get an interview.
Okay, thank you so much. And well, we have more questions, more and more questions. This person says, Hi, for a person from Haiti, is there a chance to change TPS for a green card? Thank you.
So this is a really, really broad question. So Haiti is currently designated as a TPS status, temporary protected status. Changing to a green card, it depends. Okay, there's a lot of things that this question does not state. How did you come to the U.S.? Okay, how are you seeking to get that green card? Are you getting it through a qualifying relative? Is it a spouse? Is it a kid? Do you have any inadmissibility issues? The short answer, it depends. Okay, we would have to look at your file. We have to see how you came into the U.S., how long you've been into the U.S., what means, what methods you're looking to obtain a green card, and if there are any inadmissibility issues. So, can you get a green card? Can you change from a TPS to a green card? Yes, you can, but we have to see your file. We have to see your circumstances, and then we can conclusively advise you on it.
Okay. Well, we are getting so many interesting questions today, and thank you so much, Attorney Kwasi, for answering each one of them, because we know that there are a lot of people that have questions, that have uh, doubts about immigration, or even misinformation. So we need to know that we are in the good path and that we are receiving the right information. So this person says, "Hi, my name is Tony. I am a business owner in the United States. A Mexican worker of mine got his car messed up, and a bunch of reckless assaulted him in his car with pieces of iron and visibly with a lot of anger. And he had to leave the truck and run away from them. Everything is caught in camera. So I would like to know, how can I help this worker that is a very honest person, and also I would like to help him with the U visa, or if there is any other worker visa that I could apply for.
Hello, Tony. Thanks for your question. So, it appears your employee would likely qualify for what we call the U visa, which is the victim of a crime visa. Okay, but from your question, one important thing is missing. You have to report that incident to law enforcement. Okay, you have to report the crime to law enforcement. You didn't mention anything about reporting it yet to law enforcement. I'm not sure how long ago this incident happened, but you should contact the local law enforcement. You should report to them, provide videos of the incident if you haven't already done that. Help them investigate and hopefully arrest the criminals that attacked a hardworking immigrant. And once you report to them, once you help them in their investigations, okay. So you said you did report, the cops came, they wrote a report, and that was 3 months ago. That is very, very good. Now that you have the report, you're going to need to get what we call a Form I-918B or a Form 918 Supplement B. That's basically the law enforcement form that the police or the sheriff's office that you reported to will sign. That certifies that your employee was the victim of a crime and that the crime did happen. We help a lot of people get these certifications. You should contact our office if you need help getting that certification. We'll be happy to help. So once you have that certification, then you can apply for a U visa. U visa will take a while. It will take a while, but it's really a good way to get a green card because it's one of the few ways where a lot of inadmissibility issues will be waived. Can you get a worker visa for him? It depends. Okay, how did he come to the U.S.? We would need to know. We would have to go through or sit down with you guys and go through his immigration file. How did he come to the U.S.? Usually, to get a worker visa for him, he should have a legal entry. A legal entry. You say he's from Mexico. You will need to know, did he come in across the border or did he come with a visa? Okay, without a legal entry, it would be hard to get any kind of work visa for him. So then that brings it down to the U visa. We do a lot of U visas. We can definitely help. Good job on reporting to the police. Hopefully, you keep cooperating with law enforcement as they investigate the crimes. If you need help getting that certification or applying for the U visa, make sure you contact our office. Okay, we will help you. We will advise you on it. For the worker visa, unless he came in legally, it's going to be almost impossible to get any kind of worker visa for him if he didn't come legally.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Attorney Kwasi. And well, we have time for only one more question, and we get a lot of them in our inbox. So let me go ahead and check the inbox because I know we have a few questions that are waiting for an answer. This person says, "Hi, I am needing immigration help. Um, I have two kids born in the United States. Their dad was murdered in the United States, and I would like to know if there is something I can do because we were married, and now I'm struggling only with my two kids and being the sole income of them, being the single mother or the widow mother now, and I don't know what to do. Thank you so much. He was murdered 2 years ago."
Okay, thanks for the question. This is seems something more of a consultation. I would say you should contact our office so we can sit down with you. We can go through your file, go through your situation with you, and advise you on it. Okay, was your husband a U.S. citizen? It depends. If he was a U.S. citizen, you might be able to get the I-360 widow application. But we would have to sit down with you, go through your file, see where you stand, see how long within the 2 years. Is it exactly 2 years? Is it almost 2 years? Is it more than 2 years? We would have to sit with you, go through your file, and be able to advise you on it. Okay, so contact our office, and we should be able to help you figure this out. And
Okay.
I was gonna say I see the person said October 2022, so it's less than 2 years. Okay, so that puts you within the purview of people that can apply for a widower visa if your spouse was a USC. Contact us, we'll go through and we would advise you on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and this person mentions that he was U.S. citizen. So, well, the best thing you can do is call the office, talk to the attorneys in the office, and they will give you an advice regarding to your case. So, if you want to make a consultation or make an appointment, just give us a call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. 15 attorneys will be working for you and your case, and over 60 people in the whole law firm will be working for you and for your case to get you an immigration relief. And if you want more information, just give us a call, 216-279-3984. Attorney Kwasi, our time is up for today. So thank you so much for all of the answers, for answering each one of them with a lot of detail, and hope looking forward to see you soon.
Thank you, Juan. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for everybody that has joined us today, don't forget the phone number that you need to call to make a consultation is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The attorneys in the law firm of Margaret W. Wong and Associates with over 46 years of experience and 7 offices across the United States of America. Thank you so much, and see you next time.